few of you have been saying that you don't understand exactly what I'm trying to get across with Judge Roll here, so I'm going to show you precisely what I mean, and hopefully you'll have a better understanding of the whole Judge Roll situation. I've taken 2 images from the web. You can get these anywhere online. Just search for Judge Roll. And basically what I've done is I've pushed the curves on this image so you can see it brings out the area where there has been an operation. And I'll show you the other image of a younger Judge Roll with the looks like to be a cyst on the side of his face that he had removed. Now this is the same spot that we see with James Crandall here. Now, James Crandall is Sergeant James Crandall of the Navy. He's on active duty. He's a Pima County Corrections Officer. Now, when we look at these 2 people, who I do believe they are the same individual, we'll notice that there are the same characteristics when it comes to the landmarks of the face and when it comes to soft tissue. We have an area right here that we see that there is a crease, and we have this in his face right here. He's pulling his lips together a little bit more than he is here. Here he's a more relaxed position, so you're not seeing any type of creases in the face. This is more sucking his lips in, and he's basically, it looks like he's angry a little bit. So we see a little bit of the same line right here, the same crease that we see in here, and that's just above the area where the scarring is right here. Alright, we also see an area, and like I said, this image over here has been airbrushed for because it is a studio setting type of a professional image. So we notice that there are some areas up in here though that have been left alone, and this right here we can see that there is the same area where there's problems with the skin that we can definitely match. Notice the nose. There is also a lump on the side here. We have the lump on the side here. Also, you notice the line right here in the nose. It's the same one right here in the nose. We have the same creases in the forehead, even though these creases have been airbrushed out, a lot of them, but we can still see through. We have the same creases, been airbrushed out, but we can see the same crease. Now, we have the same cheeks, but like I said, he's more relaxed here, and here he's more grimaced in the face. But we can still see the same exact creases, everything. Now, since this face is faced towards us and this is away from us, we're seeing that there's a different perspective right here when it comes to the foreshortening of the eyebrows. So that's why it looks like this eyebrow is different than this eyebrow when it is not. If this face was turned towards us, you would see the same type of lump right here that he has right here in the eyebrow. Now that's something that a trained professional when it comes to photography, when it comes to anatomy would know, and foreshortening and perspective and things like that. You're trained in art college and in other different areas, but mainly you're going to get that training of perspective when you're in as an art student, which I was, and took many hours of anatomy classes where we would draw figures and study the muscle structure and the bone structure of the face and the entire body. So the other thing I want to point out here, now this is very important, the ears. Now if you're not trained in this, again, you're going to say, well, they look different, but they're not different. They're exactly the same ear. We have a different perspective when it comes to the outer shape because, like I said, the faces are turned towards us, and this one, the other one over here, is turned away. So you're going to have to, if you are able to do this in your mind, you're going to have to imagine what the ear would look like if it was pivoted towards you, and you're going to line up the same key areas. Now we can do this right here. These faces are a little bit different in size. I've brought them down almost to the same size, but you can see right here that we have the same lumps, we have the same features. Like I said, these are a little bit off in size, but this will give you an idea of what we're talking about. Alright, this gives you an idea. That same shape that we're working with right here is right here. Alright, now this area right here, and I'll draw it in so you can, for those of you that don't really know what I'm talking about here. Let's do something like this. This area right here, and it makes that shape. Right here, it makes that shape. Now, one you can see a little bit better than the other one because of the fact that you have a studio lighting, and the one you can't. Now, you're also going to notice there is a cut right here, or crease. The reason why you don't see that in the other one is, like I said, this is a studio shooting where he's sitting down, he has professional lighting done, and they've airbrushed that area out. We'll come in and we'll look. Notice how the pixels are pixelated right here. Get rid of that dot. You notice, see, these pixels do not line up. This is a normal blend. This is not a normal blend. There's a small adjustment's been made there. Normal. See how it blends easily? The pixels are not pixelated, they're not pushed too much. We can see that that's an authentic edge, that's correct. Same here, we have a nice blend. There's a little bit of editing done in here, but we can see that there's a blending that's normal. There's some editing here. And you notice we have some strange little bit of bitmapping in here because that's been probably cloned. As you can see, there's dots that are the same. So somebody that's been trained in Photoshop has cloned that. So other places that we can look at on this face also. It's pretty clean. Yeah. Now we definitely have some adjustments made up in here. We can see lines. This is what happens when you try to lay areas in, or you clone areas, and then when it compresses into a JPEG format, it causes the pixels to JPEG and become jagged. So we can see there's editing there. But this editing that was done on this face doesn't seem to be malicious in any way. It seems to be normal. That would happen with a normal studio setting. Now, I would imagine why they didn't try to cover this up is because it is so, they did a little bit in here, but it is such a large feature here that it possibly made it look a little strange when they did it. So they might have adjusted a little bit, or maybe talk to him before they adjusted it and see what he said about it. But we see over here with this is another image that has been edited also, but it's not a studio setting, so you're going to see different lighting, different types of effects. But we can still see, like I said, we have the same creases. Now, let's talk about this ear a little bit more. Let's come in here and let's adjust the opacity on it. And we'll see how we can line these up a little bit. Now remember, they are on different perspectives, like I said, so we're not going to be able to get them exactly the same. But we'll try to get them close for you. We're scaling this all even. We're not making any type of skewing, or we're not stretching an image. We're actually doing a, it's a proportional. So there's no manipulation here that you can say that I've faked something, or. All right, now let's make this enlarge a little bit more. Again, like I said, a proportional scale. Proportional. All right. We'll take that for right now. Now, since, like I said, we're on different perspectives here, that's why it's different. But you'll see the same structure as we go from this ear to this ear. Still absolutely present. Absolutely present in both. So we know we're dealing with the same individual here because an ear is just as important as a fingerprint. They don't make two ears the same, and unless you're have an identical twin, then your rule is a little bit different for you guys. But for everyone else, your ear is like a fingerprint. Hopefully that is helpful to you. I'll be putting some other things in this video that I think will help you understand that these are the same individuals. Now, what I'm saying when it comes to these are the same individuals, I'm not saying that Judge Roll does not exist. I'm not saying that anything other than the fact that this person and this person are the same. Now, if this person is Crandall, Sergeant Crandall, then this person is Sergeant Crandall. If this person is Judge Roll, then this person is Judge Roll. The names that we are shown associated with the faces are just that. They're just names. We don't know a name verified to a face. We cannot verify that. We have no way of doing that. So, we have people saying that they know Judge Roll and this is Judge Roll. Well, nobody seems to know Crandall, but we know by the photographic evidence that this person is the same as this person. So, with that being said, something has to be investigated when it comes to this, because there is no way around the fact that these are the same people. Why Judge Roll would have a military uniform on that says Sergeant Crandall and be in the Navy, and also is a corrections officer in the Pima County books that we can show you pictures with also, I don't know. Other questions have come up where people have said, well, he's had judgments and rulings and all these things that are motive for him being assassinated. Well, you know, in the beginning I said that was motive, because that would be motive. Under a little bit more of investigation work, come to find out that there's dates that do not match and are suspicious when it comes to when he's supposed to be presiding over these cases. Now, like I said, does that mean Judge Roll never existed? I believe he does exist. I don't believe it's this person that we're shown here, though, because there is just too much in the way of photographic evidence to show that this person is Sergeant Crandall. And we're talking about books that go back 2-3 years prior to the Giffords event that have him in there as Sergeant Crandall. And unless those books are faked, which they could be, they very well could be, but if we could find a hard copy of those books and verify that these were printed before the event, the Giffords event, then we would have a much better understanding and an idea where we could definitely say that the people that are saying that the other person is Judge Roll are lying. So until that happens, we can only say for a fact that these two individuals are the same person.